structure that I followed when I was crafting my own very video resume last year when I was applying for YTN. However, just for your information, it is totally up to you on how you want to structure, how you want to make it more interesting, to fit your own way, your own vibes. It is totally up to you. Okay, now, let's see here. First things first, of course, the most cliche one. You must introduce yourself, right? Your name, your previous institution, which state are you from, all those basic things. And then, you can introduce about your family background briefly. Your parents, their occupation, your siblings. How many siblings do you have? Or even if your siblings are still studying or are they working already? And after that, it's time for you to place yourself. It's time for you to flex about your achievements. Everything. But first thing first, start off with your academic achievements. You can mention your SPM results, but don't have to go too over with it. Because in your transcript, you already mentioned about your SPM results. So in this video resume, just go through it. Right? And after that, you can also include what competitions that you join academically. Maybe you join this quiz or this Olympiad competition, anything. Right? And after that, elaborate on your co-curricular activities, your co-curricular engagement, or any leadership roles that you had back then in secondary school. Maybe you would have had effect back then. Do I have any head effects here?
Yes.
Any? Wow, hebat ah? Okay, very good. Whoa, head effect.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Or maybe you were the president of this club, that club, anything. It's time for you to flex. Okay. Okay? Listen here. Now, after you elaborate on yourself, the cliche parts, it's time for you to state the reason behind your scholarship application. Tell your recruiters, why are you applying for this specific scholarship? And your reasons must be specific to that specific scholarship. You cannot be too general about it. Like for example, if you're applying for YTN, mention about YTN. If you're applying for, let's say, Petronas, mention Petronas in your reasons. Be specific, not too general. And next, state your future goals. What you potentially can put on the table. What are the contributions you aim to give to the scholarship or the organization? Right? Because these scholarships, they are not only investing in who you are right now, they are also investing in who you potentially can become in the future if they invest this huge amount of money in you. Therefore, in your video resume, you have to clearly state your goals, your future aspirations. Also, one tip right here is that you are highly advised to relate your own personal goals with the company or the organization's aspirations. Let's say, for example, for YTN again. For YTN, their major goal is to achieve net zero carbon in 2000, right? So you can incorporate that aspiration and relate it to your own personal goal in your video resume. Do you get the idea? Yeah. So do some background digging, background research on that scholarship that you're applying for. Alright, next slide. Now, one thing I want to specify here. Your video resume, it is the one and only section in the entire scholarship process in which you are given loads of time, loads of chances, and ample of time. You have the chance to try and error, to improve, to record how many times you want, because you know what you have to do, and you know what you have to achieve when you're crafting your very own video resume. Am I right? Yeah! So that's why, for your video resume, you have to rehearse as many times as possible. And for me, when I was practicing for my video resume, I rehearsed in front of the mirror, I don't know how many times already. So you can do that as well. Not only that, you can record yourself yapping. Just use your phone, use your iPad to record, and after that, want to work on about which mistake that you made. Right? Prepare yourself completely before recording. And regarding the modes of you recording your video resume, you have two options right here. First, you can just record it using your laptop, your Zoom, but that's very mundane, okay? That's boring. So, you are recommended to ask a friend or ask a family member to help you record different clips of your video resume. And the reason why I say different clips is because that when you're editing your video, you can insert those transitions in between. And that will add points to your creativity. Now, next slide, please.
Faris, saya catat note, Faris.
So talking about editing, I'm not going to teach you step by step on how to edit your video resume because me, myself, I'm not a professional as well, okay? So, I'm going to highlight a few things that I want you to remember when you're editing your video resume.
Aku tak perasan background music.
Okay? First things first.
Take note, cepat.
You
Aku
do
nak
not
masuk live ni.
need those background music
Yeah,
in
take
your
note.
video resume, especially when you're talking. Okay? I know, maybe you want to include those 5-minute crafts BGM, tasty BGM in your video resume, but you can include in your introduction or your outro, but not when you're talking. Because if you have those BGM when you're talking, that's just going to distract the viewers. Alright? Now, next. Insert relevant visuals. For example, when you're talking about your family, you can just insert
Okay, dah Faris dah.
a few pictures of your family, your lovely family members and so on. And when you're elaborating on your achievements, you can insert scanned pictures of your certificates, maybe on this top right corner. Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, yeah, you get what I mean, okay? And after that, remember to add captions. It's a bit troublesome, but trust me, it is worth it. Okay, next slide, please. Now, before I end my session here, I want to just recap about whatever that I've mentioned earlier and what are the common mistakes that I want you to avoid when you're crafting your very own video resume, right? Now, first things first, the thing that I've been repeating over and over again just now, go straight to the point. You are given 5 minutes to craft your video resume, yep. Do not waste your time right here. Go straight to the point, avoid excessive yapping, okay? Next, do not overshare your personal struggles. And this contributes to whatever I said just now, get to the point as well. And then, do not try to sound overly smart. Look at this sentence right here. This prestigious scholarship will significantly catalyze my multi-dimensional blah, 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 everything. That is so pompous. I know your English is very good. But you do not have to include that pompous English thing in your video resume. And the next sentence. This scholarship will allow me to focus fully on my studies and work towards my long-term goals. It is simple, but it has stronger impact. Right? Okay, now, after listening to me blabbering about a video resume, I hope you gain a thing here and there. But I want to pass this floor to Elroy to elaborate further regarding the video interview. So let's welcome Elroy.
Hello everyone. How are you feeling today? Are we tired? Yes or no? I hear some yeses, okay. So now we're going to be moving on to the more exciting and the more terrifying parts of your scholarship application, more so known as interviews. So I need all of you guys to be as awake as you can. So I'm going to do a little activity with you guys. I want you to look to your left, and if they're the same gender, I want you to give them a little rub on their shoulder and give them a pat on the back. Okay, now switch it up. To the right, switch it up. Okay, so are we all awake now? Are you ready? Are you ready? I can hear you again? Okay, so now I'll be starting my session, which will be focusing on video interviews. Next slide, please. Okay, so first of all, I want to clarify what exactly is a video interview. Now, it is not an online interview, nor is it a physical interview, nor is it the same as your video resume. So as far as I know, there are only two scholarship bodies that ask you to do video interviews, which are Shell and Petronas. And both companies, their video interviews typically consist of about 3 to 5 questions with their own scoring criteria for each question. So, how do you answer these questions? What is the format? So, essentially, it's you recording an answer to an interview question and sending it to your interviewer. It's as simple as that. So, your answers should range from around 1 to 3 minutes, and it should be concise. And the best part is, it is kind of fundamentally similar to a video resume, where you are able to re-record your responses. Next slide, please. So, the video interview is a relatively new interviewing selection process, and with a new process, it comes with a lot of confusion. And these confusions tend to let you lose your edge over other people. Because all of you start out the same, but the moment you lose these certain key details, you will start to fall behind, and it is imperative that you do not fall behind. So, your points of confusion can be split into two. What you think, and what you think that the interviewer thinks. So, I'll be skipping the part where what you may be confused. I'll be touching on that later. And I'll be focusing more on what you think that the interviewer may do. So, some of you may assume that interviewers won't watch the whole video, because you may record a 5-minute video for maybe 500 questions. That's 25 questions for how many? 5,000 applicants. And you may think that interviewer doesn't have the amount of time and capacity to do that kind of thing. Well, you are wrong. Interviewers will watch every second of the video and they will analyze every aspect and detail. So please be sure to not assume. And some of you also assume that some of them use AI to grade your video interviews. And while it is true that there were rumors that certain scholarship bodies did use AI to mark your video interviews, would you really want to risk your scholarship just because you assume that they will use AI? No, right? So all these points of confusion should be minimized to ensure the best possible chance of you getting that scholarship. Next slide. So what is actually the difference between a video resume and a video interview? So first of all, their testing criteria is totally different. In a video resume, what they look for is your qualification and your interest. They want to see whether what you like to do aligns with what you are currently doing in school. If it aligns with your achievements along your 5 years in high school. Whereas in a video interview, what they look for is your own qualification, your own critical thinking, and your abilities as well as your qualities. They grade you on a holistic basis. Secondly, answering format. Similar to what Jens said just now. For a video resume, you typically have 5 minutes and you are free to edit, add BGM, or anything. Whereas for a video interview, it is typically concise and straightforward and to the point. And in terms of preparation time, a video resume, the topic will be released about a week before the deadline of you to submit. Whereas for a video interview, it is exactly similar to an actual interview where you will only know the question when you open the website. So you have little to no time to prep and you are expected to answer to the best of your ability. Next slide. So, what exactly is a video interview for? It acts as exactly the same as other processes. It acts as a layer for them to select and filter applicants. And this part is where they filter the more applicants due to your own unique approaches. Because this stage is the first stage that the interviewer actually sees your face and hears your voice. So be sure to make a good and lasting first impression so that you have a higher chance of securing that second interview later on. And this stage is also usually where they ask case-specific questions related to the workplace or related to moral questions where they gauge your own personality. So, before I move on, I want you guys to imagine yourselves in the shoes of an interviewer. If you were to hand a scholarship to someone else, if you were to give 1.5 million ringgit to someone else to study, what would you like to see in them? I want you guys to think for about 10 seconds and shout me out some answers. Any takers? What would you want to see in someone where you believe that they can strive, where you believe that they can achieve and become a trailblazer? Was that leadership? Confidence. What else? Passion. Direction. Passion. Ambition. All of those are correct. As we move on to the next slide. So what does this actually achieve for the interviewer themselves? It allows them to evaluate your own interpersonal traits, your workplace behavior, and your own personal interests. It's also where they note down your passions and they see what drives you, and they see what you love to do and what you strive to achieve in the future. And some of you may think that, oh, if I can speak well, it's a for sure 100% chance that I'm getting into the next stage. And I'm telling you here now, that is not. Your speaking capability does not define whether you get the next stage or not. Your content does. So always remember that speaking capability comes second, whereas your content comes first. Always choose your content over your volume. And lastly, interviewers love to see your growth over time. They don't want to see how you end. They want to see how you started, how you fall, and how you get up again and you achieve what you to be who you are today and stand where you are today. Next slide. So why is this stage so important? This stage is where it defines the line between you and another candidate. It allows you to show your capabilities and your own thought processes in a niche way. As I said before, this stage allows you to put a great impression, a great lasting first impression, where they will remember you for the rest of your scholarship application journey and potentially allowing you to get the said scholarship. And you may think that what you show is exactly what interviewers may see, but I'm telling you straight up, it's not. Interviewers have years, decades of experience, where they can see through more than just your words. They can see into your heart and who you truly are, and so you cannot lie to them. Always try to be true to yourself and try to answer them to the best of your own capabilities. Next slide. So we come to the peak of this session where I teach you guys how to do well. So next slide, please. So first of all, answering techniques. Be genuine. You guys, I understand, you may have a friend that you look up to or a senior that you think is amazing. Their grades are amazing, their ECAs are amazing, they can talk on stage without stuttering. But I'm telling you here today, it does not matter. What matters is that you are yourself. You be who you are. Because interviewers, they're not looking for someone else. They're grading you based on your own capabilities and what you strive to achieve in the future. So never assume you are a shell of another person, and just be true to yourself when answering the set questions. And when the moment you open the website and you see the prompt, write down any ideas that you have based on the prompt given and structure your idea out during the intermission period. And when you are able to structure this complete idea out, you're able to have a fluid flow of answer, and you try to reduce any grammatical mistakes during your recordings. And as said before, always try to get to the point because you are short on time. You have only 1 to 3 minutes to complete your video interview for maybe 5 questions. And last but not least, always try to be fluid with speech. It's okay to stutter. It's okay to say it's okay to say it's okay to stop and think for a while. What matters is you are natural. And the most important part is you do not read from a script. Because if my 9-year-old cousin is able to tell that a YouTuber is reading a script for their apology video, what makes you think that the interviewer won't know that you're reading from a script? And always try to remember, try to use hand gestures. It makes yourself more natural, it makes yourself more open. Next slide, please. So, for attire and appearance and background and so on, a good rule of thumb is to know that a button-up, for guys, a button-up and a tie will never go wrong. And for girls, try to dress formally as much as you can. And another tip that I can give you guys is, if you think that you're underdressed, then you probably are underdressed. Okay? So always try to dress up semi-formal, or if you want, you can go for the full formal set. And if possible, for guys, this is an extra tip, always try to use vibrant colored ties. so that the interviewer will remember you based on your color of your tie. It's an extra tip that I learned from CKTR camp. And obviously, you should choose a quieter background because you don't want to be recording yourself in a hawker center where there's loads of background noise and the interviewer can't hear what you're saying, but they can hear what the hawker is saying, right? And always try to inform your family in advance whether you're doing a recording or not, so that they don't suddenly open your door and disturb you and you have to re-record it again. And always make sure that there are no technical errors. Make sure your camera is well lit, your camera is functioning, and your mic has no issues. Because if you find out that your mic has an issue or your camera has an issue, the day that you are trying to do recording, your chances are basically 0 to none. So always try to check a week before. Always try to check in advance. And if there are mistakes, if there are technical errors, always try to get a solution as fast as you can. Next slide. And we come to the part where you actually answer the question, where you have to control your tone, your flow, and your pacing. And to think of it in simple terms, it's kind of like running, where you have to control your pace to make sure you don't burn out yourself or to make sure you're not too slow. Always try to use the points that you wrote down initially as a benchmark to see whether you're going too fast or you're going too slow. And always ensure that you have proper articulation. Try to pronounce every word as clear as you can, because if you pronounce it fast, you try to produce volume without proper pronunciation, the interviewers can't understand what you're saying anyway, so it's pointless. So always remember, content over volume, and always try to articulate your words correctly. And always, it is imperative that you read the instructions correctly. Because some questions, they tend to ask you to answer in a certain language, or they put in a no or a not in the question, and it becomes a totally different answer. So always read the question a few times, and make sure you're answering in the correct language before you actually answer the same question. Next. So the last point I want to share with you guys is background research. So this is the part where you want to research on the scholarship body itself and where you want to research on yourself. So when you research on the scholarship body, try to understand their vision, their mission, and their core values, because they may ask those set questions in the video interview. And if you're able to relate it back to their own company vision and mission, it gives you a plus point over other candidates because you actually studied on the company. You actually know what they're looking for and what their future plans are. So you can plan. They know that you are a person that looks into the future and knows that you are able to handle certain tasks. And always try to understand what they look for. Say, reach out to seniors or friends who have the same scholarship or who have passed that set stage of the scholarship interview, and you're able to gain more insight, not just from this workshop itself, but you're able to DM the speakers who spoke today, or the seniors from your school who got scholarships. And last but not least, do research on yourself. Find out what you like, because you need to truly understand what you want to actually choose a course that you like in the future, to choose a course that you're willing to work with the company you choose for the next maybe 7 to 10 years. So always remember to understand what you truly like and what you truly love about the world. Maybe if you love farming, you can even talk about farming in your videos. It doesn't matter if you're applying for economics, but you're talking about planting in your video interview. It doesn't matter, because the interviewer wants to see what you love and how you relate it back to your set course. And next slide. And that's all from me and Yenza today. I hope that you guys got to know a little bit about the interviews, because we are kind of short on time. So these are our IG handles and on my LinkedIn, so do give us a drop of follow and also a connect. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Elroy and Yenze. Now we will have a short 15-minute break until 4:25. Please do visit our booths outside the hall, and please come back on time, as these last two segments could be the determining factor in you getting a scholarship. Thank you so much.
Kenapa ni? Sekarang tengah apa? Alah. Siapa lagi cakap dengan speaker. Mana? Mana? Oh my. 161.
Awak tu yang nanti masuk post. Dia bagi tahu itu juga. Awak tu yang nanti masuk post quarter.
Mana lagi, mana lagi? Dah. Tengah cari bag mana? Tengah cari. Oh, ni. Mana? Rep. Hilang dah. Sekejap Mana lagi?
Bagi siapa nak?
Tengah cari orang ni. Mana? Ni. Lagi. Ni terbaring. Ada. Mana lagi? Sekejap, berdiri ni. Dia tak perasan. Mana lagi? Cepat. Mana lagi? Alah, tak perasan. Mana lagi? Ni apa? Ini boleh? Semula. Semula Faris, semula.
Semula apa?
Semula selfie.
Selfie?
Alah, dah serabut lah aku.
Kau suruh aku selfie kan?
Bukan selfie.
Oh, alright.
Oh, mana lagi? Mana? Ada lagi? Mana lagi? Best lah buat benda lain. Aku suka. Ni. Ha? Jangan tak pandang. Dah ni boleh masuk. Ni orang tak pasal? Alamak. Ambillah. Tak payahlah dia malu. Ni? Sekejap. Ni tengah gurau. Mana lagi? Mana lagi? Dah tak ada subjek dah, semua dah ambil dah. Dah mana lagu? Tangga. Dia tak pasal? Dah, ni tak ambil. Nak juga. Ni lah KFM. Dah tak pandang pula, tadi pandang. Mana?
Attention.
Okay, hi guys, as you can see, we have our base t-shirt. It's so pretty and so cool. if you guys have one of these, you guys are the coolest. The coolest. It's by the way, it's 30 ringgit, and we also have flashcards for online version because the physical version has already sold out. Have a look, have a look, have a look, have a look. Go, 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 go. Fashion show, fashion show.
Satu, dua, tiga. Semula. Ni.
Guys, hello. Attention, guys. This one is dead stock, you know. You only have like what? 10 left. And think about it. Base equals to scholars equals to base, right? We would like to see you guys in this shirt next year in the committee. Since we will be your senior, right? Anyways. Think about it, guys. There's only 10 left and we will not open in Lazada. No, you won't see it in Second Street. It's not going to be in trade stores. Everyone will be wearing this, and when people see you with this, right, you're automatically associated with scholars. And think about it. It's cool, right, guys? You'll be the coolest kid here. Just buy and change it and come back in. Let's go, guys!
Guys, if you buy this and then you change it and come back in, you can get a photograph with Jung himself.
Siapa lagi ni? Mana? Mana which video? Kira ni tengok video berapa orang?
Jadi bajunya nice, fittingnya sangat cantik. Kalau kamu tengok sleeve tu sangat fitting, very nice. Untuk kaki-kaki jeans tu semua fitted sleeve, nampak tonjol masa korang. And belakang dia design base sangat cantik, mewakili kita semua. And benda ni menggambarkan korang ni seorang scholar. Jadi manifestation kan guys. Length dia cantik saja, dia drop cantik dekat waist korang. And kita dah nak sold out, stock limited lagi. So jangan rugi masa guys, pergi beli. Tekan beg kuning di bawah. Ini model kita Zaga Aiman. Dia seorang...
Sekejap. Nas, cuba kalau tengok-tengok ni. Dia nampak apa? Tengok apa? Kau dah tadi tempat sama je. Sekarang? Sebab sekarang tengah snap kan? Ni lah ramai-ramai ni lah. Tak dapat. Ha? Nak suruh dia lambat? Guys.
Okay everyone, settle down because we'll be starting our next segment soon.
Kelihatan. Siapa lagi?
To everyone outside the hall, I kindly ask you to please come in and take your seats as we'll be starting soon.
Angkat nak gendong tak?
I repeat to everyone outside, please come and take your seats as we'll be starting in 2 minutes. I repeat, we'll be starting in 2 minutes.
Swing along.
Everyone, please settle down because we'll be starting now. For our next segment, you guys will be learning about interview preparation. First, I'd like to invite Ezati. Something about her, she just recently got her driver's license and she's afraid of cats. Next, we have Akil Hilmi, who aspires to be an engineer in Formula 1 for McLaren. Hi.
Hi guys. When I say hi, you say hey. Hi. Hey, hi. Yeah, that's the energy that we want. Okay, please be seated. Really quick. Thank you.
Okay, so I feel like everyone's like a little bit sleepy, right?
Sleepy lah.
I want you guys to stand up. Yeah, just stand up for a while. We're gonna have like some exercise to just energize you up. Okay. Follow what Yahaya's doing, okay? Okay, everybody stand up.
Okay, please stand.
Okay, I see most of you have stand up. So the first thing I want you guys to do is to raise both of your hands up. Straight. Yahya, don't run away. Okay. Okay. And then I want you guys to wiggle it around. Like this. Fast.
Okay, make some noise. Okay. We.
Okay, then do T-pose.
Okay. Okay, where's the woo? Alright. Okay.
I think you guys are full of energy already, right? Right? So you guys are ready for?
Okay, thank you so much.
You can sit down now. Okay, so for this next session, we'll be diving deep into how to prepare for your interview. So before we start, I would like to introduce myself. I am Attire. I am a Yayasan Khazanah scholar, currently studying in TYUM and will be pursuing in mechanical engineering.
Okay, make some noise, guys. Hi guys, my name is Izati Hanis binti Khairul Zaman. You guys can call me Izati. So, wow, okay, so enthusiastic over here. So, I'll be pursuing my degree in UK, inshallah. I'm currently studying in UCSI College and I'm under course Chemical Engineering. Who wants to be Chemical Engineering?
Okay, so I would like to start the session by asking a simple question. Who here has been in an interview? Yeah, you can raise your hand. Okay, there's many of you. Okay, so I understand that it may be macam interviews about like to become like a prefect or to pass through the next stage of competitions. But I see also most of you also like have not had any experience yet in terms of interviews. But I think that interviews, like what you understand about interviews, they are really formal, right? With people from like higher ups asking you questions. But I would like to like simplify it with a general experience that I think most of you guys have experienced before. So like this situation is like korang pernah tak like you want to go out to like my town or anywhere, have an outing, and then suddenly you don't have any money. So like, but you still want to go out. So like, who do you go to? To like parents, right? So like, what do you say to your parents? Like okay, wait. Okay. What do you say to your parents?
When I want to ask them for money? Okay, I'll say like, me, tak ada boleh.
Okay, and then what will your mother reply?
Untuk apa?
Untuk apa? And then what other questions?
Untuk, nak keluar dengan kawan?
Okay, you see that's actually an interview. So I think most of us have experienced that, and that would just basically like simplify it a bit about what interview is actually about. Just people asking questions about you and you have to give a really good answer. Okay? Okay. What's interesting about this is my mom is over there. Alright, so you can go next. Alright, so next I have a question also, which is, have you guys ever wondered why scholarship bodies even do interviews? Like, if you think about it, yeah, they're spending a lot of energy, a lot of money to like book these venues for them to do interviews. It's much easier if they just pick you guys based on the portfolios, resumes, the CVs, and the grades that you have filled in when you guys applied for the first stage, right? So like, why do you guys think they do interviews? Can I have like someone to volunteer to answer this question? There's one guy. Oh, any girl. Someone?
Okay, good guys. College, right?
Oh, yeah, you want to be scholars, you have to be confident. Oh, I'll pick. Okay. You want to pick? Anyone?
Okay. Can I have one of my juniors?
Izati, you got one.
Okay, we got one volunteer. Let's go.
Okay, so Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Adam Halistan. I'm from SBP Bentung. So, for my opinion, boleh main English tak?
Boleh.
Okay, so I think that scholarship dia buat interview sebab dia nak tengok how determined are we in taking their scholarships to pursue our studies. Sebab kalau kita tengok daripada segi essay kan, essay tu dia tak nampak macam mana determine kita ni. Tapi by doing interviews, dia boleh nampak yang our body language, our tone of voice, dia nampak yang kita ni lebih motivated and lebih semangat nak masuk dalam satu scholarship ni. That's why it's more strict and it only limits to amount of like 20 people macam PNB kan. PNB I think is the most hardest lah. Sebab from 20,000 applicants to only like 20 to 30, sebab tu dia buat interviews tu.
Alright,
That's
yeah.
all for me.
I have this round of applause.
Great answer. Thank you.
So what he said just now was really on point. Yes. What you read in your essay doesn't really reflect the passion that you have, the spirit that you have, the determination that you have for that scholarship. So next slide. Okay. So these are 3 points that in my opinion, would be like one of the main reasons why scholarship bodies do interviews. And to understand these points would really help you to answer your interview question really well. So first you have to understand that scholars are investments in these scholarship bodies. So you know that scholarship bodies like Yes and Hazana, PNB, Petronas, they all are companies, right? So companies, they basically want profit, and these profits, they come from quality work, which come from quality employees. But how do you have these quality employees in the first place? So what these companies do is they have these quality employees by taking young talents early on and nurturing them to become the perfect employees for their company. So they want to see that the candidates that have the same aspirations, the same values, the same missions as their companies, so that they would work really well and fit perfectly into the environment of that company. And besides that what I've said just now, the mission, the aspiration, the values, you can't really see that shown in the CV or resume. It's mostly can be seen during interviews only. Okay? So next is that interviews levels the playing field between students that got really good grades and students that get below average grades. So when you step into the interview room, it's no longer about your grades. They know everything about your grades, your achievements, your resume. It's all about character at this point. So if you go in there and talk about yourself, your personality, what you learned from your experiences, maybe your most memorable experiences, that is what they want to see. Those answers are the one they are looking for. Those questions, those answers are the one that portrays your characteristics. Okay? And next is on paper versus off paper. Like I said just now, when you apply, you send your grades, your CV, your resume, your essay. But those things don't really reflect what you are as a person off paper. You may write in your essay that, oh, I'm a really good leader. But actually, in reality, maybe you're not. Or maybe you say I like matcha. But you just say that because you want to attract those performative people. Yeah. So it doesn't really reflect who you are actually in real life. So when they conduct interviews, they can actually see firsthand and compare what you write and what you say in those interviews. If it's consistent, then what you write is actually true and you are really that kind of character. Next.
Alright, so let's look at what to do before. Okay, so I have 6 tips over here. Number 1, do research on the company background. For instance, if you guys are going to Petronas, please do read about their annual report and not reading everything out because everything could be around 300 pages. So make sure you guys have some data, okay? And then you guys can use that And as you guys can see over there, can you guys see? Okay, so that was my board during the scholarship interview preparation. So I listed all the companies that I need to do research on, and I put it all in a notebook. Alright? So make sure you guys have some data so that when they ask you about technical questions, okay, for instance, YTN, they not only ask me about how do you define success, who are you, like that, right? But they also ask about the technical questions such as how do you generate electricity, what to do when power is lost. Alright, so make sure you guys do more research on the company background. Alright, the second one, relate your experiences to the intended courses. Okay, who here wants to be a lawyer? Lawyer? Alright, okay. Okay, and then engineer? Okay, I hope you guys get what you want. Alright, and this thing, because you guys have a lot of time now, okay, you guys are quite unemployed, so you guys can list all of your experiences and make sure you guys know, okay, contoh right, you guys want to write, I got Gold Award Innovation, okay, so what do you learn from it? So what, okay? Don't let your achievement define who you are, but make sure you know what to tell about what you learn and then everything lah. Alright, the third one is draft your introduction response, because introduction is very important. You want to leave a wow impression. Alright, so make sure after this we have one session. Okay, make sure you guys listen to them properly because you need to have a very good introduction. Alright? Okay, the fourth one is list out all your achievements and get to know yourself, because in this interview, it is all about you. So make sure you know what to tell and you can show. Alright. Okay, number 5 is practice to describe your opinion when speaking. For you guys who don't know or been following me for a while, during my SPM break I buat tutoring because as a scholar, you need to know how to articulate your ideas well. So, make sure if you guys want to speak, speak from your heart and make sure they get to know you. Not just, oh, I got this gold award for blah blah blah, but they need to know what do you learn from that and what is your strength and weaknesses, alright? And the last one, sleep. Sleep, get plenty of rest the day before. Don't be too nervous because when you are too nervous, right, sometimes you'll be blank. Macam, oh dah masuk dah. And then, nak buat apa ni? Nak buat apa ni? Alright? So, make sure you guys sleep, get plenty of rest, and wake up early. Try to wake up early that day. And just my personal tips, I didn't include it here, but before I go to any scholarship interviews, I will listen to songs that make me feel motivated. Okay, so I'll give you my song. Okay, but don't judge my voice please guys. Okay, so have you guys see at the TikTok like lagu Fly, terbang, terbang tinggi walau pada di kaki kan ku cari lagi. Right, so that song is one that inspires me a lot really. Okay, and also another one, yeah, you can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the King Kong begging on your chest. Alright, so make sure you guys know how to make you guys feel motivated. Alright, okay, next slide please. Okay, next slide. What to do during the interview. Hi. Hi. Alright, okay. Eyes on me. So during the interview, make sure you guys know how to do body language, okay? Like, minimize your body language, but don't be so awkward, like kaku macam tu, okay? Make sure you know how to do eye contact and then greet them. Like if you are a girl and the interviewer is also a girl, and then you go give them a smile, a big smile, okay? Make sure you guys dah pretty dah waktu tu, dah handsome dah. Okay, make sure you greet them properly. Okay? The third one is when answering the question, please be concise because the opportunity comes only once. Alright? The opportunity comes only once, so kan tadi dah draft your introduction response, you also have listed everything, so make sure you be precise and be specific about what you guys gonna do. Okay, And the last one is work together. During the group interview, right, you can share and ask for opinions, but this is my personal tips. Shine, but don't overshine. Okay, so what does it mean? Give chance for your teammates to talk and make sure you don't take up your ideas. Alright? Okay, next slide. Pass back to my partner, Kim.
Okay, so what to do like after you finish your final answer after the interview? So don't just like tiba-tiba you shout in the room too. It's gonna be look really rude. So maybe like before you bangun from your seat, maybe you can stay for a while and say or ask some questions, some short Q&A. Why I say this because for Q&A is that when you ask questions to them, like maybe like what do you actually look for in your scholars, or what do people that get this scholarship, how their future look like? That's like some of the example of questions that you can ask. When you ask these questions, these scholarship bodies or the interviewers will see that you have you have genuine interest in this scholarship. You are actually passionate about this scholarship. So that's a really big advantage for you. And next is to live with some manners. So when you rise from your seat, don't just back off from that. You probably can say some regards like thank you for having me, say things like that. And then you can, after that, when you exit the room, when you're about to go home, maybe you can spend some time to do some reflection about how you performed during the interview. Like which questions were the most challenging for you? How did I speak? Did I have too many filler words, or did my answers were too short and too simple? Those things would really help when you have any future interviews. And then other than that, this is one of the most important things and my favorite thing to do after an interview is to celebrate. Like for me, what I like to do after an interview is I like to sleep. Like I've spent so much time like stressing over like what to say, like how for these interviews. So I would like to have some rest in my mind. So maybe you can like go out and have a meal with your family, or like go out and like have a little dance outside of the interview room. Just anything. Even though you think that you perform really bad for the interview, that's still a win for you because you actually finished the interview. So what I'm trying to say is celebrate your wins, even if it's a small one. Okay? Next. Okay. So siapa sini pernah rasa this kind of feeling? Nervous kan? Are you guys nervous for this interviews that you guys gonna have nanti? Yes, can. So this feeling is actually something yang really valid for you to have. Like it's okay to feel nervous before an interview. Actually, if you guys tak rasa nervous before interview, I'm genuinely worried about you. Okay? Because you have to have some nervousness so that you have that sense like to push, like to prepare for interviews. But you have to learn to control this nervousness, okay? Sebab nanti if you don't control your nervousness, you step into the interview room and then suddenly you become stiff, you become awkward, you forgot what to say. Okay? So here are some things that you can do to control about when you feel some nervousness. The first thing is maybe talk to a friend, talk to a family, or someone that you find comfort in. Okay, so like before my interviews, I usually spend some time like to converse with my parents, just have some chit chat so that like I keep like my guard down a bit and feel comfortable before going into the interview room. Next, you can take some deep breaths. Okay, so like you have to like rewire your body before you get into the interview room. So if you like inhale, exhale. Okay, let's try that now. Okay, everybody take a deep breath. Rasa tak like a different energy? Rasa kan? So like that's what I mean. So like when you do that, you rewire your body and your brain to feel some sense of calm. Okay. And then next is also one of the things that I like to do. Give yourself a pep talk before the interview. Maybe like when you wake up on a day that you have an interview kan, like when you shower kan, in your bathroom, you look into the mirror and you just say, I'm gonna ace this interview. I'm goated and I deserve this interview. Yeah. So that's just sets up a mentality of like the confidence lah before you go into the interview room. Okay? And one last thing is to remember that it's just a conversation. And the more you treat it like a conversation, a formal conversation, the more natural your answers are going to be. And the more natural and the more confident your answers sound, the more the scholarship or the more the interviewers would like you. Because it seems that what you're saying is you're saying something that is actually straight from the heart, not something that you memorize. Okay? Pass it back to Rizal.
Alright, so next slide please. Okay, so we have 3 types of interview over here. We have online interview, group interview, and one-on-one interview. Okay, so for online interview, for instance, Petronas, before you have the actual interview, you guys have prompts, okay? I'm not sure about the format of your batch, but then for my batch, we have prompts, and we need to record ourselves, talk about it for about a minute or 2. Right, so for the next one is group interview. I've been to JPA, YTT Mara, as well as Petronas, and you guys want to know what? In a group interview, everyone could get it, and everyone could not get it. That's the first sentence that the interviewer said to us. And guess what? All of my fellow scholars are actually scholars now in Petronas. Okay, I have one right now, Hongka. Okay, say hi, Hongka. Okay, and then we also have one-on-one interview. For example, YTN Crime that I have been to, the second picture. Alright, next please. Next slide. Okay, so for online interview, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of tips. First, make sure you guys have a stable internet connection. Okay? Do not try to use external tools such as ChatGPT because, as I said, you guys have prepared just now, right? You guys have wrote all of your achievements. What is the thing that you guys need to talk about it? Okay? So make sure at that stage, no more ChatGPT, just you, yourself, and you. Okay? What's that? Okay. Second one, control the environment. Janganlah kat belakang tiba-tiba ada adik nangis, okay? And then tiba-tiba masak-masak ke, okay? So make sure the environment is quiet, okay? And the third one, prepare your content early, as I said. Second last, look presentable on screen. Wear what makes you feel confident. In wherever stage you go, like interview tak kisahlah, online ke, face to face or one-on-one, okay? Make sure you guys look presentable. Actually, I'm a spec girl, okay? I wear specs. But then when I want to go to interview or give talks, I will wear lens because that's what makes me feel more confident. So make sure you guys know which state you guys are more comfortable in. Okay? And last one, and it's very important, to know yourself. Okay? After you guys have listed all of your achievements, know what is your strength, what is your weaknesses, and what you guys can learn. Alright, next slide please. Pass it back to Aki.
Okay, so let's see some common questions. So the first common questions that I would like to specify about is the questions that are personal, questions that's about you, solely about you. So some of the questions are, tell me about yourself. What skills have you learned recently? And tell us something it's not in your resume. So these questions is something that they want to like see personally how your personality is and like what you have besides your resume basically. So what some of the tips that I can share to you how to answer these questions is you can use the structure of PPF. P is past, another P is present, and then the last F is future. So you can use the questions there like for past, where have you been? And the present, like what are you up to now? And the future is how does it benefit you in the future? And the next is 3C, which is concise, color, and confidence. Concise, make it short, make it simple. Color, make it like with some variations in verbally, like tenses, the sentences, like that. And confidence is say those answers with confidence, because it's all about you after all. So you shouldn't be answering this question with like that, because it's about you. You should know yourself already. Okay, next. Next is about pathway and goals. So some example questions will be, where do you see yourself in 5 years? What do you wish to achieve with this scholarship? And why this course and why not that course? So a tip that I can give is you can use the SMART method. Although I won't be explaining so much about the SMART method, my colleagues will explain a bit more later after this session. And also you can, for like a tip from me is set these 3 things, mission, vision and values before you step into the interview room. So know what's your mission in life, what's your vision in life, and what values you hold dearly for yourself. So I think that by having these 3 things, you can really answer this pathway and goals really clearly, because you know your mission, you know your vision clearly, you know you can justify the journey, the choices that you take based on the values that you. Next.
Okay, so what are the interviewers are looking for in their potential candidate? So, as what Abdul said, they want to find future employees. So firstly, you need to have a clear vision. What do you want in your life? Alright? Second, passion. Passion is, oh, I want chemical engineering. And then when the interviewer came and asked you, so why not sustainability? Why not sustainable engineering if you are so interested in that? So make sure you guys have all the answers. The third one is strong ethics, because you need to be an all-rounder, okay? You cannot be good academically only, but also in the way you bring yourself. Because when you are being called to interview, you are actually dah qualified now, okay? So make sure you guys bring a smile and have good manners. Do lots of networking over that. And lastly, be confident. Just like what I said just now, you have all the time to speak about yourself, but don't be too overconfident. Alright, next slide please. Alright.
Good. So that's we've come to the end of this session. So before we end this, I would like to say like you got this, all the best. Don't be too worried about your interviews. Like what I said just now, have the right mentality when going into these interviews. Like for me, one of the things that I said to myself before going to the interview room is to act like when you enter the interview room, like everyone's like you already got the scholarship. So like during my YK like interviews, I literally like went there. I was like, wow, I don't want to be nervous. You know what? I think I'm gonna act like I'm a scholar already. So like I think that mentality is like a really good mentality, because it instills confidence in you to give like clear answers and to like act like a scholar of some sort. Yeah, many thanks.
Okay, another one, lastly, a tip from me. If you guys are applying for Shell, make sure you guys be alert, because sometimes they'll be calling you like during an impromptu session. I'm not sure, because during that time, I was like cring cring, and I thought it was scammer tau. And then I didn't pick it up at first. Lepas tu, turns out it was a Shell interview. Okay, and please be prepared and make sure during the scholarship interview era to be alert. Alright? Okay. Lastly, next slide please. Alright, that's all from us guys.
If you have anything to ask, you can reach out to us through our ID, and we will be more than happy to answer those questions. Okay? Alright, that's all from us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to Akil and Ezati. Now we're moving on to our final segment of the day, our interview session. First, I'd like to invite Ira, who loves learning languages and can understand 2 languages other than Malay and English. Give a big round of applause to Ira. Next, we have Intessa, who's a pop mart addict. Hirono, Skapada, you name it, she has them all. And finally, we have Fahim, who's a big fan of anime, specifically Kaguya-sama Love is War, and he's seen it 3 times. And you may have seen it on TikTok too.
Alright, hi everyone, and welcome to the last session of the base Pinnacle workshop.
I got an email from Ben. It says, I have an interview tomorrow. What do I do?
And C, guys, don't be like Ryan, unprepared and clueless about what to do for the interview. Welcome to today's session, interview T1, T2, T3. There are 3 types of interview questions, and it's not every day you get a Bank Negara interview. It's not every day you get a Petronas interview. So, don't flunk your interview and come prepared. We prepare you with all of these resources, so use them properly. And let's get straight into all of the types of interview questions. And just for your information, since you guys have a lot of free time, make sure to prepare for interviews in both BM and English. Because for scholars like JPA and YTT, sometimes they want you to use BM and sometimes they want you to use English. So just prepare for both. So on to you, Fahim.
Okay, thank you, Tessa. Assalamualaikum, hi and good evening everyone. Okay, so before we start, can I ask all of you, I want to lend your attention just a bit because I know this is the last session and we're all just tired and I just want to go home. But I promise, our session will be the best, okay? So can I have your attention please? Alright, okay, so the main types of interviews, there are 3 types of interviews that we've discovered. The first one is CBI, that stands for Competency-based interview. Okay, you guys can read the slide. It's about structure, format of information, tailored assess specific qualities, evaluating thought process, assess through sharing of past experience, and why CBI is vital. Analyze candidates' problem-solving skills, prediction, and evaluate the ability to handle tight situation. It is a little bit lengthy, but the main purpose of CBI is the interviewer want to know who you are, because they don't know you. And you have to remember, there are a lot of top scorers SPM. A lot of students who got straight A's and even straight A plus with an ECE of 9.0 over 10. There are a lot. Okay, so you are not special. You have to remember, you are not special yet. Okay, you have to make yourself special by acing these CBI interviews. Okay, they want to know who you are. They want to know your experience, and you have to introduce yourself to accept your student assessor. You have to tell yourself your past experience, and also what makes you you, what makes you unique and qualified for the scholarship. All right. So one of the examples for these CBI interviews are, next slide please. Okay, these are the example of CBI questions. What has been your biggest achievement today? Discuss a personal challenge or setback. In fact, I got this question when the Petronas interview on the stage 1. Okay, tell me about a time when you show integrity. Okay, next slide. Okay, you can just screenshot or maybe take a picture of these questions. Describe situation. How do you cope in adversity, and describe a time where you had to learn something new. This is one of the past shells questions. Next slide. Okay, moving on to the second type of the interview, which is national awareness question. Okay, what do these interviewers assess you on? Okay, you can read, how aware are you with the current issues, Malaysia or globally? Articulate your thoughts, like the previous speaker said, articulate your thoughts with firm and assertive answers, easy to understand, and able to give various perspectives throughout the opinions of your current issues, and values and ideas. But basically, why national awareness is vital? Because interviewer wants to know whether you are alert with the current issue globally or domestically. They want to know whether you're alert or not. Because you have to remember, once again, you are not a kid anymore. Who is a kid right now? No. No. You are 17, you are SPM graduates, and you're one step further from becoming an adult. So your opinion matters, your thoughts matters, and your perspective matters. So they want to know your perspective on hot issues, maybe sensitive issues, and they want to test you on your critical thinking. Because in the end, after you study, you will contribute back to the country. So they want to make sure your vision is aligning with the company or with the scholarship. Okay, next slide.
Okay, these are the hot topics for the national awareness questions. Maybe they will ask about economy of the country, education, employment. Next. Okay, this is one of the. Okay, you can just think about it. This is one of the example questions, but this one is maybe a little bit general. Recent national issues in Malaysia has caught your attention the most, and why? Like basically for me, I think the recent news that caught my attention the most is our education system, which the primary school, sekolah rendah, starting from 6 years old. And it really concerns me because this is one of the biggest steps in education in Malaysia. Next. Okay, this is also, what is your opinion on the current education system? Yeah. Okay, well next. Okay, this is also one of the famous topics. Any particular news that you've read about ESG, SDG, miscellaneous public transport related vehicles and mental health?
Alright, so thank you so much for him. Moving on to the second type of question is debate or opinion-based questions. Now, I would like to clarify that Bank Negara won't ask you to just randomly do a debate. These are the types of questions where you have to maintain your own stance and get ready for other people to oppose your own views. For instance, if they say like, oh, do you think that petrol subsidies are fair? You are the one who has to maintain that stance and ensure that anyone who opposes you, you are able to give a good answer. So don't worry if you're not a debater, you just have to have a good mindset, and the interviewers, they want to see your flow of thought. How do you think of things? How do you think of solutions? What do you take into consideration? So what's more fun than a debate? Let's do one right now. Okay, so the government and the opposition, those are the two sides that we have, and we have two sides of the hall right now. Okay, so if you guys don't know, government is the one that supports the motion and opposition is the one that opposes this motion. Like I said, interviewers, they want to see how you think. So today I want to see how you think. Alright, so first off, I'm going to ask if there's any volunteers before I choose two lucky participants. Any debaters? Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you for representing your side of the hall. You can come down.
Okay, this side of the hall. Who wants to volunteer? Okay. You with the black kid. The black kid.
Alright, you guys, while they are coming down, can we move on to the next slide real quick? Let me just explain a few things. So this is how you tackle these kinds of questions. On this side. Okay, this is how you tackle these kinds of questions. Have a clear stance, provide your ideas comprehensively in point form, and elaborate on each idea. Don't just give surface level information like, oh, the education system should be improved. Go deeper into that and prepare to be opposed. Alright, so can you come here? Come here. Okay, we'll give you 1 minute to prepare and 1 minute to give a speech, but only one person has to talk, but you guys can discuss. Okay? So you guys are representing this side and you guys are representing this side. So the motion for today, people work hard. Okay, when I say the motion, the timer starts, okay? Okay, so let's go with a very simple motion. Okay? Let's go with a very simple motion, okay? The motion is, this house supports the use of ChatGPT for students. Government, opposition, go. 1 minute on timer to press. Anyone from the side of the hall, you can help your debaters. This side, you can reach out for help if you want. Five, four, three, two, one. Done? Okay, done. Stop discussing, guys. Please, those helpers, please go back to your place. Ready, debaters, and future scholars, inshallah. Okay, guys, stop discussing. Come here. Don't. It's okay. Y'all ready? Okay, everyone settle down. So who's going to represent side government? Hi, is that how you pronounce your name? Alright. So you have 1 minute and it's okay. We're all here to learn and we're all here to gain new perspectives. So everyone from side here, please support Heidi. Alright, ready? Let's go! 1 minute on the clock starts now.
Alright everyone, as a side of government, we're supporting this motion under 3 levels of analysis. Under the argument of supporting personal growth. Level of analysis number 1, let's define real quick AI. When we're speaking of AI in students, we are not just saying things like copying homework or just essays. AI can be used much more, not only as a form of an emotional support, it can also be used for personal growth. Say for example, you are trying to make a very effective schedule. So that's AI generally, not specifically towards homework. Level analysis number 2, how does it support? You see, AI uses this source code program which regulates from algorithm, meaning that it will give you the most accurate answer based on your own prompt, not just from ChatGPT, but also other AI forms like Gemini and much more. So then, level of analysis number 3, which is the impact, we tell you that since we have our own peers to help us to grow, I tell you that AI is still functional for students as, if not the main source, as a backup plan for the students to develop themselves into world-class leaders. Thus, I rest my case.
Alright, thank you so much, Sai. Very clear response. Thank you. Good job, this side. Next, to oppose, we have?
My name is Safira.
Okay, go. 1 minute starts now.
Okay, thank you. And first of all, the side of opposition generally believes that AI is definitely something that will always be implemented in our daily lives and it won't be something that can really be put aside. However, I'd like you to kind of look back on why most websites or institutions, they actually don't allow the use of AI at all. I think that first speaks something, like a lot, to why AI actually stops a lot of people's creativity. And I think if we're looking at at a larger scope, AI actually kind of isn't really the best place for students to grow. It's a really big shortcut for a lot of students and they don't generally think mindfully when using AI. Specifically when there's student assignments, when there's essays that are needed to be done, a lot of people copy-paste what AI can actually do, and that's actually something that's really concerning.
Alright, okay, thank you so much. Good job to both debaters. Now, members of the hall, who do you think won today's debate? Government or opposition? Alright, okay, I think both of you guys did great jobs, and yeah, thank you so much. Give it up for the debaters. So, okay, settle down. So, as you can see, from both side government and side opposition, we have really good examples of people who have strong opinions backed up by facts. From side government, what they did first and foremost is gave definitions, which is very, very useful and very clear. When you listen to side government, it's very clear. You can see his train of thought. And side opposition, very easy to understand because they related it to real-world examples. They related it to data that we have, statistics. Alright, so moving on to the next slide. So here is the very generic but useful method that everyone can use to answer questions during interviews. No matter what question the interviewers ask you, just pull up this method. It is called the STAR method, which stands for situation, task, action, and result. So like Fahim mentioned just now, everyone here I'm sure are really good students. You will get straight A plus, you did really well in school, you probably had boy or had girl, and you did debate something. But what makes us different from other people? The interview session is where it boils down to the interview session basically. What differentiates us is not the people who joined basketball, but the people who learn from those experiences. You're not just going to state in your interviews, I was the president of the student council. You have to explain what happened, what you learned from it, and what you intend to bring on with you in the future as a scholar. So you can see, for situation, you basically give them the background info. Now, these interviewers, they know nothing about you. They don't know what's going on. They don't know what you did in high school. So give them background information, set the stage for them, and then give them the task. For instance, you can say, okay, you were a student representative council, and the task was a big event. And maybe there was an action that you had to do, which is solve a conflict between the student council members. Then you explain what happened and the results. So this is a really easy method that you can use to give your answers. Next slide.
Okay, so now let's move on to, in my opinion, the hardest part of an interview, the case study. The case study is done with quite a few really prominent interviews, such as Yayasan Kazana, Petronas, and Bank Negara. Essentially, what a case study is, you will have a fictional or non-fictional situation whereby you have to solve situations and you have to solve the problem given to you at hand. Next slide, please. Okay, there are 4 criteria assessed essentially. Although for each scholarship the criteria is different, essentially these are the basis of how they're going to assess you in a case study. First of all, critical thinking, analyzing, reasoning, evaluating, and creating. You have to understand, in a case study, it's not just limited to how you think and what you think about the opinion, about the specific case that's given to you. But it also matters how exactly do you analyze it, how well do you elaborate it, how well do you reflect your ideas, especially within a team or even individually. Next, coherency. Your thought flow and using effective cohesive devices. I think it's really important to make clear that it's not necessary for you to have fluent English in order for you to successfully carry out a case study. What they want from you, what the scholarship bodies want from you, is they want confidence and they want clarity. Doesn't matter if you're not fluent in English, but if you have the confidence and if you have the confidence and clarity in order to present your point nicely, then the scholarship bodies will like you regardless. Next, clarity. Like I said just now, your pace, intonation, how well you respond to other people's ideas, how well you respond to feedback and opposing ideas really is important when answering a case study. A case study can be from 1 page to even 6 or 7 pages. And I think, in my opinion, if the case study is one of the things that actually determines if someone gets a scholarship or not. Because the case study is where the scholarship bodies get to see you working in a team, gets to see you use your thinking skills, and gets to see you at your core, at a situation where none of you are prepared at all for this specific task. And finally, the final one is the interpersonal virtues. How well do you work as a team? How well do you engage? And how well do you communicate? Like someone said just now, it's important to shine, but don't overshine. I've seen so many individuals who go to scholarship interviews and at these case studies, they completely outshine their other teammates, but at the end, they don't even get the scholarship. Whereas people who are quiet, yet have really good teamwork and communication skills, tend to get the scholarship over them. So I think it's really important for you to think, it's not important that you shine. It is important that you shine, but don't dim other people's light. Shine in your own way. Next slide, please. Okay, so if you're really confused, how do I approach this situation? How do I approach a case study? 3 things that you can follow. Identify, internalize, and brainstorm. Firstly, identifying. you have to ensure that you know exactly what you're talking about, because these people from the scholarship bodies already know so well about the case study that you're reading on. But they want to know whether you had the time or you had the effort to actually understand what was going in the case study. For example, let's say the case study is about a fictional world where an economic crisis is happening, right? What you have to identify is, number one, who is exactly affected in this specific case? Will it be the citizens? Will it be the government? Will it be the minorities? Identify that one first so that you are able to build your points off of these stakeholders. Then, from there on, you can develop ideas, you can develop problems, and you can develop solutions to the problems that they give you. Next, internalize the situation from both points of view. You have to think whether your points or the points that you're going to present have two sides of the coin. So, even in my experience in the Bank Negara interview, in the Bank Negara case study, they asked us to prepare the points for agreeing with the question or agreeing with the case study. And then all of a sudden, in 1 minute, they asked us to flip the situation and asked us to tell us about the points against the case study. So no matter what, whether they tell you or not, just try to think and internalize what are the different sides of the story, what are the different sides that can be presented in the case study as well. And finally, brainstorm. Brainstorming is not exclusively, oh, I think it's this, I'm going to keep all the good answers to myself. No. The key to a really good individual in a case study is that they give their best ideas to the weaker people in their group. Because they know that these individuals don't have the time to shine, they know that these individuals don't really have the confidence, hence, as the stronger person, they give their stronger points to the weaker members of the team. I think this specific example shows really good teamwork and shows that you're willing to sacrifice your personal, spotlight in order to make others shine as well, which is something that scholarship bodies really value in an individual. Next, please. Okay.
Alright, so done with the techniques on answering. Here are some big no-nos. Here are the common mistakes that you should avoid when you get those bank or Petronas interviews. Now, just for your information, these scholars, they won't be telling you a month before or 2 weeks before your interview. It could be your Bank Negara interview, like Ryan just now, is the next day or the next week. So you don't exactly have so much time to prepare. That's why, start now. And sorry, we forgot to introduce ourselves. Me and Ira are Bank Negara scholars, and Fahim is a JPA scholar. So if you have any questions, do ask us later. So next slide, please. Alright, so here are the common mistakes. First is quite obvious, saying we instead of I. Make sure you refer to yourself properly. And second is being too vague or too general. I think throughout this whole workshop, every speaker mentioned about being too vague or too general. Like I said, don't just state that you want a bunch of gold medals. Make sure to put in a few details. Like Ira mentioned just now, don't overshadow other people. It's good to be a leader, but when you're the leader who's the only one talking for 5 minutes, and like for example, if I'm in an interview, I talk for 5 minutes, and Ira can only talk for 1 minute, the interviewer looking at me, they would think that I'm selfish and not confident. So selfish and rude for not giving my other members an opportunity to shine as well. So don't overshadow other people. Following that, don't be too braggy or don't be too modest. Find the right balance to showcase your achievements. Don't be saying, yeah, I was the head boy, and I was a student councillor, and I won basketball. But don't be too shy and be like, oh, I tak buat apa-apa pun, high school sangat. So, find the right balance, guys. And also number 5, don't be making up your own stories. For this, I actually have a story. Basically, for my Bank Negara interview, they asked me about my video and my essay. So that means that in your essay and in your video, the people reviewing it, they will remember it and they will ask about it during your interview. So don't lie, even in your essay, even in your video. So during the interview, they're like, so Tessa, about your video. So you have to remember your video, and you have to remember what you wrote in your essay because they may ask you those questions. And lastly, don't lack confidence or be too nervous. Last slide.
Okay, after this I reviewed the general mistakes that students do. So I will give you the general advice that we think the best and you can apply for your interview, scholarship interview. The first one is don't give overly lengthy answers because, yeah, people don't like to hear your yapping and it's good to yap. I think I get it, you are nervous and after all, you tend to overextend or maybe cut your answers, but keep calm because they're humans after all. They're not monsters, okay? So just give a proper answer, simple, not too short, but accurate and precise. Second is always answer the exact question, don't stray off topic. Because most scholars or most candidates, sometimes they tend to feel very nervous. So they tend to stray off topic. Sometimes it is a simple question, where do you live? Oh, I live in KL, which is approximately 20-minute drive from here. It's actually quite tiring to drive from here to there. No. Okay? The third one, use structure, point, explain, evidence, example. Or you can also use the STAR method, which Tessa mentioned earlier. Number 4, plan and prepare with your interview buddies. Okay, if you're on the same school, maybe you won't get to be in the same session, but at least you can just create a WhatsApp group. So you can put a lot of information about scholarships, maybe deadlines or what to do, and also tips to approach the scholarship and the scholarship interview. Okay, practice answers out loud. Articulate your thoughts. Because if you're going on an interview and you just so the interviewers, how they're going to assess you if you're just so articulate your thoughts clearly. Okay? Alright. During presentations, always have a clear opening and closing. Okay? So that interviewers know. Okay, this is usually goes on to the case study or maybe a debate. Okay? Divide roles properly, and the last one, show teamwork, not competition. These all speakers, as we highlighted most. Don't you have to shine but not overshine. We repeat it the most. Next slide.
Alright guys, so we are nearing the end of this segment, so let's hear some sample answers. It's really easy to be like telling about the techniques on how to answer, but let's see some good examples. So let's play a game, and you guys have to identify whether these answers are good or bad answers. So we have Ira as our interviewer and Fahim. Future scholar, maybe? Ira.
Next slide, please. So, Fahim, why do you want to pursue this course?
I want to pursue this course because I can get a job with high salary. I can be rich, I can have a good life, enjoying my future, bright and with a lot of money.
Members of the hall, good or bad answer? Bad answer. Sorry, Fahim. Someone else is going to get the scholarship. Now, let's ask Ira the same question. Ira, why do you want to pursue this course?
So, I personally want to pursue this course, which is law, because I've always been passionate about advocacy and debating. And I believe that pursuing a career in law will give me the opportunity to be able to do this not just in the short term or within my community, but in a wider scale to contribute back to the larger community of Malaysia.
Alright guys, good or bad answer? Good, of course good. Congrats Ira, you got the scholarship. Alright, moving on. Next slide please.
Next slide please. Okay, Fahim. Oh, Tessa, sorry. What was the lowest point of your life and how did you overcome it?
The lowest point. I failed my maths during Form 4 and I just studied, I guess.
So, is that a good or bad answer?
Okay, so let's hear the good answer. Okay, sorry. Okay, let's see the example for Ira. Ira, what was the lowest point of your life and how did you overcome it?
I think the lowest point of my life is when I got a really horrible grade for my maths examination. I was very demotivated, I was very put down, but I believe that didn't stop me because I continued to persevere and I continued to push myself, not just helping myself, but also helping my peers along the way. With this, I not only achieved success within my own failures, but I helped achieve success for my friends as well.
Okay guys, good or bad answer? Good! Congrats, Ira, you got another scholarship. Alright, so guys, as you can see, we have 4 red chairs down here. These are the hot seats. Moving on to the next slide, please. Now it's your turn. Yes, we love this and we love calling out people. Alright, so can we have, okay, I don't know if there's going to be any volunteers, but we're going to ask and do a kind of mock interview. The interviewer will sit here and the 3 candidates will sit here. So, members of the floor, do we have any volunteers? Any future scholars out there? 3 people.
Think of this as an opportunity for you to have a mock interview beforehand.
Yay! Thank you so much.
Yay! Give a round of applause.
Anyone else?
2 more.
Before we pick anyone.
Okay, 1 more.
Okay, another one.
Alright, thank you so much.
Okay, give a round of applause for these 3 volunteers.
Hi everyone, my name is Smita. Hi everyone, my name is Fatiha. Hi everyone, my name is Shanita, but you can call me Shan.
Alright, thank you to the 3 of you for volunteering. So me, Aira and Fahim will role play as your interviewer today. So are you ready, candidates? Alright, so welcome to today's mock interview. Since we're quite low on time, I'll ask a question, direct it to the person on the left, and then you'll continue and flow from left to right. Okay, so next slide please, and reveal the question. Let's start off easy. So, Smita, tell us your experience as a leader in your previous school, and hint, you can use the STAR method or any method you want to fully elaborate. Stage is yours.
Thank you for the question. So previously in my school, SMK Putri, I was the ex-head prefect in my school. So as an experience being a leader there, I had actually led a prefectorial board of around 70 members, and leading a board like that wasn't inherently easy for me, but I have managed to learn a lot through teamwork, especially by many obstacles in the prefectorial board as a whole, and it indefinitely shaped me as a person today.
Alright, thank you so much for your answer. Alright, so moving on to the next panel.
Next slide, please. The next slide. 1 more. Okay. Fatiha, right? Fatiha, how do you plan to contribute back to your country?
I plan to contribute back to my country by working as a computer scientist. From my knowledge, Malaysia is still a developing country, and computer science, mainly specifically the cybersecurity department, is really lacking in workers, and we need talents. The industry needs talents for to keep the company safe. As we are advancing as a country with technology, there are scammers and hackers everywhere. So there needs to be someone to step up to help the country and defend against these online atrocities.
Good job, everyone. Give a round of applause for Fatiha.
Okay, so for the last question, Shan. Okay, Shan. Where do you see yourself in 10 years' time?
Thank you for the question. Firstly, I would like to see myself in 10 years in a very happy situation mentally, where I am able to function well in my daily life activities, especially because I believe that mental health is the core to everyone's daily activities and to success. But to go into further detail, I see myself striving for our nation as a person who plays their role responsibly in the field of politics, and I'm able to be the voice of those who are not heard and be able to bring justice in this nation.
Alright, thank you to the panel and thank you to the candidate. So I don't know about you guys, but I think all of their ideas were really good. Congratulations, all of you got a scholarship. Yay! Next slide.
Okay, last but not least, the key takeaways from this. First and foremost, you do not need to be perfect. I think you can take it from me because I went to so many different interviews and I got most of them. But the reason why I emphasize on this is because I know that I did not do my best in every single one of these interviews. In fact, I think I messed up in a few of them. I even cried in the Bank Negara Scholarship interview, and yet I still managed to get the scholarship. Why? Because number one, you also have to understand who the people interviewing are. The people interviewing you are human as well. They don't expect to hear robots, they don't expect to have know-it-alls, they expect to have humans being a part of their company in the future. Next, they're not testing if you know everything, they're testing how you think. In order to answer every scholarship question, you have to ensure that you instill this part of yourself that you don't know everything. You are there for the scholarship session, for the scholarship interview, to learn, not for you just to merely get the scholarship. Next, honesty beats over-polished answers, always. So if you don't know the answer, just say you don't know. Like for example, what are the most prominent social economic situations that you are aware of? If you genuinely don't know any, just say, I'm sorry sir, I genuinely don't know any. But if I would take it in my own perspective, what I believe the biggest problem is in the world right now is poverty. And then explain why. Next. Also alright. Yeah. And then the last three is just being clear, just make sure that you get to shine with your own personality the most. And yeah, they're just conversations. Don't treat it as if like it's the scariest thing in your life. Just treat it as a learning curve for you. And inshallah, all of you guys will get scholarships in the future. Ameen.
Next slide. Alright, so that wraps up the end of our session and the end of Base Physical Workshop. Thank you guys so much. We had a lot of fun engaging with you guys. Do reach out to us if you guys have any questions. We know that today was very info and content heavy, so it's okay if you guys forget. But if you get an interview, remember Base Initiative and remember to not mess it up. Good luck to all of you guys, and we pray that all of you get scholarship.
Ameen. Good luck, everyone.
Thank you to Tessa, Ira, and Fahim. And with that, that marks the end of our workshops today. I'd like to thank all the participants for sacrificing your time today and for giving your full attention and support today. We really appreciate it. Now, I'd like to invite Akil Muklis to talk about BASE's mentorship program. Without further ado, Akil Muklis.
Right. Hi everyone. My name is Akil. I'm also a scholar from BASE, a grad scholar. I'll be talking about our mentorship program, which is on the next slide. Yeah, I'm from the project department of BASE Initiative, so basically we're like the creative brain of BASE, and we do a lot of projects, including our mentorship program. So expect to have a mentee interest form that will be released within 21st February. So our mentorship program is basically a special program that only BASE does that will make you guys pair up with a mentor. So I'm sure that you guys have had a lot of fun today listening to our different speakers. So a lot of them will actually become mentors for our mentorship program for this year. And if you guys sign up to become a mentee, you guys will have the opportunity to be guided by these people. Hopefully for these three things, like general scholarship pathway advice, essay reviews for your personal statement essays to apply for scholarships, also CV preparation. You guys heard tadi from resume and CV preparation punya segment. So we do that as well, and also finally mock interviews. So if you guys enjoy the mock interview session tadi, we have a lot more during our mentorship program. So do sign up. We have more info on our social media platforms, including the mentorship program and also other programs like the Base Talk podcast that we do every month. So please do follow our socials. We have our tags over there, and we'll see you in our next